welterweight champion, Shawn. I'm still calling you champion. You're forever
I
champion.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Listen, I mean, we've just had it announced that there's going to be a mandatory fight, WBC, between champion Errol Spence Jr. and Keith Thurman. You fought both men. I mean, I think you're the only guy that has fought both, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm wrong.
Probably. Yeah.
What's your take
Yeah.
on this fight?
Well, Danny fought both of them.
You're right.
Yeah.
That's right, Danny Garcia.
Yeah.
What's your take on this fight? Obviously, I think the world wanted to see Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence. That did not happen. How good of an alternative is this?
It's honestly, I think my heart wants to say it's a really good alternative. I think it all just depends on Keith. He is in the latter stages of his career, and I just know from experience, and I know from what I've seen from other fighters for so long that the energy and everything that you gave boxing early on in your career, in the middle of your career, is just much different than it is on the back end of your career. And I just most recently spoke with a fighter who was getting in the ring for a title shot. I said, hey, in order to win this fight, I think you can win it. You have to be old school. You have to have this old school mentality that you used to have, that love and that desire and ambition and everything, that drive, everything that you had early on in your career that got you there. You have to reinvent that in order to do it. So, I mean, yeah, I think that there's definitely things that Keith Thurman can do that can offset the great abilities that Errol Spence Jr. has. Errol Spence is a great fighter. Good can be great. Once upon a time, Keith was great. And so the question is, does he have that in him?
Yeah.
An honest answer from me, based on his last fight, long way from the lip to the cup.
Yeah.
I would hope it would have been shorter ways from the lip to the cup, but it just looks like he's got a lot of work to do in order to get back to being a supreme athletic talent, Keith Thurman, that is. Of course, on the other side of that, you got Errol Spence Jr., who's gone through a lot, and I think everything that he's gone through has kind of helped him. And one thing that I realized about Errol is, sometimes you say some guys are born to box. There's a lot of coin phrases. Boxing picks you. You don't pick boxing. All those different things. I really think that I think that if there was anything in the world Errol could do, it's box. I think that from what I've seen, being in the ring, being watching him ringside, everything that I've seen from Errol, it lets me know that he can close his eyes and do it. Lets me know that he can wake up in the morning, first thing, get out of bed and beat somebody's butt. And no matter who it is across from him, he's going to try to figure it out. And ultimately, he has been able to do that, So I think it's a great fight. I think that the promotion is going to be really good. And I know, so here's what I know. I know that Keith is going to talk the good game.
Ooh.
And I want him to get in the ring and back it up.
Yeah.
I do. If he backs it up, we got a fantastic fight. It's not a situation where we don't want to see Terrence anymore because we got such a great fight. We still want to see that, but this definitely could serve as like a great fight that you didn't expect, but you're going to get anyway.
Yes. There's two things connected to this, and then I know I'll let you go. I know you're busy. One is that Keith Thurman actually needs to fight Errol Spence the way you did, I think. And he's not that type of fighter though, right? I mean, can he be that bulldog that you were?
And here's what I've seen from Errol. He comes to the ring with a game plan, which is great. He has a fantastic team, but then he also has the ability to make adjustments during the fight. And not many fighters do that. A lot of fighters only have one style. This is what I'm bringing to the ring, and I'm going to live and die with this. Both of those guys, Keith and Errol, both have the ability to make what I call in-ring adjustments.
Okay.
And so I think that that's really interesting because you'll have a Keith who has the ability to move, get Errol off balance, make Errol get a little impatient, things of that nature. You have an Errol who's kind of grown up now, and he won't get as impatient as he used to. It's a really good fight.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I think that for Keith, it has to be a matter of mixing it up. I mixed it up a lot. It was a lot of in, but then there was a lot of out as well. And I think in order to beat Errol, you have to mix it up and keep him guessing, keep him adjusting. Once he finds his rhythm and he finds this is what it's gonna be, if you don't get him off of that, you get stuck. you know. So but I think it's an intriguing matchup because you have someone who's been there before, knows what it takes to be great, and it's just a matter of can he be great again. And then with Errol Spence it's a guy who is great, living in his moment right now, and he's just kind of this bulldog. Who's next? And I think that's why everybody likes Errol, because he's just knocking them down.
Yeah.
And who's next?
But it is interesting because you raise a good point that Keith's going to talk a ton of smack, and we know that it burns Errol Spence. He didn't even want to fight Keith Thurman
Yeah,
because he
didn't even
made
wanna
him
fight
wait.
Keith. Yeah.
He did not want to fight him,
Yeah.
you know, while Keith was champion.
Yeah.
And that burns Errol. I'm sure Keith is going to bring up some of that.
Well, see, here's the other side of that. The other side of that is Keith went so long being inactive, a fight here and a fight there, and nobody respects that. I didn't respect that near the end of my career when I started contemplating, like, okay, I might not get Terrence. Who else would I fight? Of course, there was a look at Keith. You have the history. This fight gets sold because of the history. I mean, there's so many things that could work, and then it was like, well, he's inactive. You know, if I fight him and I look superb and he just looks okay, like nobody's gonna, you know, there's too many excuses, you know what I mean? So I like the fact that you don't have Errol saying, okay, I'm gonna fight you. You have everybody saying, Errol, you have to fight him. And then, you know, it's a matter of Errol being stone cold, going in there and handling the business, you know?
The bottom line is, Shawn, is that I think if you put yourself against either of these two guys, it could be a better fight than what we're gonna see. But let's see what happens.
No,
you know?
no, it's not like
oh,
that.
for sure. Those two fights were classics.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't
and the
know,
thing
man.
is that even if you have losses on your record, Shawn,
Yeah.
I mean, those were victories from the standpoint of revealing your heart.
I think one thing that may have flown under the radar for me is I'm a very unique athlete, and I think that you have athletes that love sports and do certain sports because they love it, and I saw where my opportunity was, and I knew that it was going to be boxing. So I'm definitely I'm an exception to that rule. You know, if you love something, you go as far as you can go. You know, I'm that exception to the rule of being just a really good athlete, having, you know, ambition and drive, and using all of that to get there. You know, so
we loved it, and we miss you, and
thank you,
looking
man.
forward to talking to you again
Now
soon.
you don't miss me. I'm here. I'm right here. I'm about to talk.
Okay. Yeah.